My name is Trish Povlitz. I am the HR director here at Goodwin House, Alexandria. I've just been here for 6 months, but I appreciate the opportunity to share my memory of 9/11, which I'm sure others will say is like Kennedy's assassination for my generation. At the time, I know it was a Tuesday, I was working for a large global consulting firm and actually first heard about it from one of my staff members who was assigned on a project in Paris. And we were using AOL Instant Messenger, and she pinged me and told me that her father just told her that a plane hit the Trade Center. And a bunch of us on our floor, on the HR floor, went down to the staff break area and were watching the TVs. And when I saw the second plane hit, I realized that that was live and went back to my desk and was trying to contact my husband, who is a firefighter. I couldn't reach him. The communication lines were already jammed. But because I was working at that time in Reston Town Center, it was the tallest building between Dulles Airport and National Airport. So we had to evacuate. At the time, I was also 6 months pregnant with my daughter, so I had to walk down 9 floors worth of stairs. And well, luckily, it was parked in one of the maternity spots, so it was very easy for me to get out of the garage. But I realized what was happening. It was very scary. I was able to get home before a friend of mine decided she was going to leave. It took her an hour to get out of just the parking garage. I was out in about 5 minutes. Got home. My son, who wasn't even 2 yet, was toddling around in front of the TV. My mother, who was watching him, was glued to the TV. And where I lived in Gaithersburg, I was on the flight path between Camp David and Andrews Air Force Base. So it was very quiet, no traffic going, no other air traffic except for the jets flying back and forth between Camp David's base and Andrews. And again, I couldn't even reach my husband. As it turned out, I didn't see my husband for 3 days. Had no way of getting in touch with him. He was a firefighter in Anne Arundel County, so not an immediate jurisdiction to DC, but they weren't sure if he was going to respond to Pennsylvania or to the Pentagon. So, he was always on the ready. And, finally, when we could get together, I wasn't concerned about him in the immediate danger sense, like those firefighters in DC, but was just worried about being in touch with him. But it was just such an eerie time, how quiet it was outside, I remember. And one of the other things was that the associate partner who was in charge of our HR community at my company where I was working at the time, his brother was actually killed in the Pentagon that day. And after 9/11, he led the charge to create the Pentagon Memorial. And we were able to get an advanced preview of the design for the 9/11 Pentagon Memorial. And I would say if you haven't had a chance to visit it and listen to the audio tour along with it, I think that it is truly one of the most thoughtful and thought-provoking memorials ever, any that I visited. Every detail is thought out and it's open 24 hours. So now my husband is actually the fire chief for Arlington County, and he has in his office one of the flags that flew over the Pentagon after the attack, sitting in his office, folded triangularly in one of those cases. And he is now preparing for the 20th anniversary himself, a lot of events to go to commemorate and honor, the first responders and the families of those who were lost on 9/11. So for me, it is a time that is solemn, but it just impacted me so personally, knowing even what my husband went through, and I just can't imagine what the families have gone through. And it is truly something that we should never forget. I think that 9/11 had a way of bringing America together, and that will be that grounding event for my generation. And for my kids, I think that the grounding event will be COVID, which here at Goodwin House, I know that you've gone to amazing lengths and feats to keep our residents safe. So that will be the event for this generation. But I do appreciate having the opportunity to share my memory of 9/11.